All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders and apostles at Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in the 1/3. And Adon Ratazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. And the Wadi Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, to answer the question pertaining to Edom. Okay, so I had did a lesson earlier while I was on the plantation. Okay, and an individual, let me share my screen. An individual, let me also make sure the audio is good. Let's go right here. Individual asked a question pertaining to Esau, Edom, and let me just make sure the audio is good before I continue. All right, just give me a second. Una momento. Okay. Okay. So right here, I did this lesson earlier while I was at work, at slavery. All right. We are yet this day in our captivity. And I did a quick exhortation titled, "It's either faith or fear in the time of trouble." And of some of the sheep were, acknowledging that the lesson, pertaining to the edification. And then this individual right here, as you can see, Gandalf 77, I think that's Tupac as his, yeah. Okay, so right here, this individual said, "Where's Esau's trouble? Esau gets to get away with 400 years of slavery, grape, rob, murder, lynching, pillaging our people, question mark, question mark, question mark. And then I immediately replied back, as you can see, within the same hour, I said, Esau's trouble will be in Jacob's trouble. I can do a lesson on it if you are not aware of that. And then I am to assume that this individual liked that comment. So this is where we're at. Okay, so I'm not sure if maybe I made a statement that I didn't qualify. So Salakia for that. I hope I didn't cause any confusion pertaining to the lesson I did. So I just want to touch on this quick topic because hey, this is juicy. Okay, this is juicy. Look right here. The stage is set for Jacob's trouble. Exactly. And Jacob's trouble will ultimately lead into Esau's trouble. Now, a quick precept that comes to my mind that can, put it all in a nutshell is when you go to 2nd Ezra, I believe it's 15, it speaks about how we're to speak to the Lord's people pertaining to prophecy. And it also says how he's going to send plagues on Egypt as before. So you're seeing Babylon, who is ran, governed, and bestowed into Esau's hands. You are seeing Esau in trouble right now. In fact, it actually says that he's going to be in straits while he's still in rulership. Okay, so to answer the question very, very quickly, no, Esau will not get away scot-free. Okay, Esau, Edom will be judged for the wickedness that he has done, and not just for the 400 years of slavery, my friend. Not just for the 400 years of slavery. Esau is going to be judged for what he has done on the earth since the beginning. He got the mark of Cain, and then his violence against his brother, even in the time of the Babylonians besieging us, even in the time of the Greeks being that abomination that make it desolate, even in the time of the Romans. So Esau, Edom has far more of judgment that he has to answer for, and not just slavery. But since a lot of our people are only aware of slavery, I will answer it very quickly with this precept right here. Okay, we're not going to drag this out. Revelations 3:13 and 10, but I'll start at 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. But not everyone has been bestowed or given ears. Now, let me plug my laptop in. Bear with me while we still got electricity. Okay, so, all right. So now let's read this real quick. And okay, perfect. So Revelations 13 and 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Okay, going back to the question, I said, if you're not aware, I'll do a lesson on it. Okay, so maybe this individual is not aware, or maybe he assumed that the lesson was trying to shed light. I don't know. So I'm just here to answer it. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Revelations 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity, and let me break this down like this. Now you go to Deuteronomy, okay, the 28th chapter, and I know You brothers know where I'm going. Okay, I'm preaching to the choir at times, but this is why it says one faith, one sound, one baptism. When you go down into Deuteronomy 28 and you start from 15 on down, it goes into a series of prophetic curses that will befall us, and not all in the same empire. Some during Rome, some during in Babylon, meaning what you know as America today, and throughout. But right here, okay, Deuteronomy 28:68, and the Lord, okay, Yahweh Bashem El Shai shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now, if you didn't know, America is synonymous with Egypt because, real quick, Egypt is synonymous with what? Bondage. Now, I'm still holding 2nd Ezra 15 because it actually goes into Egypt. So, the Wadi Bashem El Shai, Bashem Rakak Wadash for that. Now, when you go into here, this is Exodus 20 and Exodus 20. And let me see right here. Is it 2? Exodus 20 and 2, it says, I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem El Shai, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. So this is the physical land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. But then after we got delivered out of the land of Egypt, we also were told in the book of Deuteronomy that going off would lead us to be put in captive again, like in Egypt. But where is that today? Here in Babylon. Hence why a lot of our people are familiar with the transatlantic slave trade, but they also don't know why that happened to us as a people. So right here, okay, Egypt is synonymous with the house of bondage. Then you have the curse that says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, when did we go to Egypt again with ships? When you fast forward to what befell us in the last days, hence why the 12 tribes chart is based off the Western Hemisphere, because Esau, Edom was prophesied to be in this position of power, okay, to have the Rome revival. Revelations 13 goes into that. And then right here, Revelations 11 and 8, it says, and their dead bodies spiritually and their spiritual dead bodies lie in the street of the great city. America is this great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified or crossed out. Hence why people call on Jesus and believe that is a so-called white man. So right here, we're proving that the hands that Esau has put upon us, he is going to be judged for it. But it was already prophesied that this judgment would happen. But he has even more judgment he's going to go through outside of just the X amount of years he's put us in hardcore slavery here in America. But I get it. I get where you're coming from. But he's got more to answer than just transatlantic slave trade, because you also got to think about what did he do to the Northern Kingdom. Now, since I said that, let's go from there real quick. I'm going to get some judgment on Edom, but I got to build up the case. I believe it's Jeremiah 51 and 33. Let me see, Jeremiah 51 and Jeremiah 51. Okay, I think it's 50. All right, yeah. Let me go to 50. All right, let's go one chapter over. Jeremiah 50 and where is it? Right here, Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. So it's not just for what he did in slavery, it's for what he has done to the nation of Israel. This is why in Obadiah, okay, it speaks about for the violence against thy brother. So let me hold that, okay? Let me hold that. So let's go back, okay? So it's a culmination, all right? What's going to happen to Edom is a culmination of judgment, not just the pillaging, rape. And then what about in the time of King David, when Edom waited till King David left, and then they pretty much ransacked and kidnapped the people. Let's put, did Edom kidnap King David's wives? Let's make this plural, okay? Girlfriends. And it says right here, oh, come on. The Bible's not mentioned being, oh, come on. Let me try this. Let me put King David's family kidnapped by Esau. Let's try that. Let's try that. Come on. Don't do that to us. Oh, don't do that. Let me see right here. Let me see. Okay, well, let me see. David is buried. So David and his men came to the city, buried fire. His wives, their sons, and their daughters have been taken captive. Okay. So who took his family captive? All right. Who took his family captive? 1 Samuel 30. Okay. Let's actually go into this real quick. I wonder, maybe I'm not wording something correctly. So let's actually just read this real quick, and I'm going to give you some Edom judgment, but we're also giving you some information pertaining to it. Okay. Oh, because you know why? It's Amalek. But Amalek is Edom, okay? 1 Samuel 31, and it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south. Now, if you didn't know, I still got Deuteronomy for you. I still got this for you. Okay, I'm holding this. Okay, so let's go real quick. Let me just prove to you really, really fast. In Genesis 36 that Amalek is a grandson of Edom. Okay, Esau moves. Let's go down. Descendants of Edom. Okay, you got Eliphaz. All right, let's keep going. And where is it? Right in my face. Right there. One of the dukes of Edom, one of his sons, Korah, Duke Gotham, and Duke Amalek. Okay, so Amalek is Edom. Okay, remember Genesis 36 and 8. Let me show you that real quick. Genesis 36 and 8. Thus dwell Esau on Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. Okay, so Amalek is an Edomite as well. All right, and Amalek is actually in our land right now, and they're going to be judged. What about what the heathens have done to our land? They're going to be judged. Esau's not getting away scot-free. Okay, but it ain't just for what he's done in slavery. He's taken the land. He's was partaker in destroying the temple. Remember 70 AD, Daniel 9, starting at 24. Esau has a ton load to answer for. Okay, so now let's go back and finish First Samuel's. Where is it? Where was I at? Let me get back to 1 Samuel. Oh, I was in Google. Okay. And it says, and it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekites, who are descendants of Edom, had invaded the south and Ziklag and had smitten Ziklag and burned it with fire. So while King David and his men are out at war, what does Esau do? And had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way. So as King David was out at war, Esau through Amalek came in and spoiled his family, and did not Esau do that as the conquistadors, the Spaniards, and as well as against the so-called Native Americans? So Esau has a lot to answer for. He has to answer for what he has done to the nation of Israel in a whole. So to answer your question, Esau is not going to be acquitted for the wickedness that he has done. And we are here together receiving it. Okay, it's not just for what he's done to the south. It's what he's done to the north. It's what he's done to the children of Yahweh Bashim Shai in general. And in Jacob's trouble, as we're seeing now, Esau's being slowly judged right now. Okay, Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. From who? From Esau, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. See? Okay, so now when you speed it up, according to history, we're talking about the judgment that's going to befall him in this time period. But Esau, Edom, has a lot to answer for. Okay, now from there, let me give you something else. Okay, we made this point, but I guess I'll read it again. Deuteronomy 20:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, and that's all the way over here into the Americas. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye should be sold unto your enemies. Esau's an enemy, okay, eye for an eye, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall save you. You actually have we actually have laws pertaining to a Hebrew servant, meaning you could buy them out of that in particular situation, but we weren't going to be saved by anyone. This is why Yahweh Shai is going to come back and not meet them as a man. But the point is that we were sold as bondmen, slave men, and slave women under the hand of Edom. And yes, Edom will answer for that. And this is why we are seeing the rumbling and plagues taking place right now, because this is the buildup to the judgment that's getting ready to befall Edom, in so much that Esau, Edom his own country is going to be destroyed in the next world's war, and the Lord is doing that for his people's sake. Let me show you that real quick. When you go to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, why is there a third war? When you go into the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, why is there a third war? Joel 3:2, I will also gather all nations, Edom being one, Amalek being another, Gog, Russia being a third. A lot of Edomites, NATO being fourth. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which you people know as the so-called Middle East. Okay, I'll put it to that in just simple terms. And will plead and will judge with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So it's not just for the 400 years of slavery of grape, rob, murder, and lynching. It's also them, a bastard dwelling in Ashdod, the kingdom suffering violence of the Gentiles coming in. It's about them partaking in the destroying of our temple. Remember, raise it. We got to get that now. Let's get that. Look at all these beautiful precepts we're getting that is answering this question, okay? But it's more than just what you know as slavery, all right? So he's got to answer for, and Obadiah sums it all up, but I'm just kind of precipical adding this package together, if you will. So I believe it's Psalms 137. Let me see here. All right. An experience of captivity. Yep. Now let's go down. Okay. Now check this out. Psalms 137. Psalms 137 and 7. Now this is funny because man, this is a spirit. I listen to this song almost daily. Okay. There's a song right here. It's called By the Rivers of Babylon. By the Rivers of Babylon. I listened to this song. I was just listening to this last night. I was just listening to today. This song right here, I listen to this song all the time, and it's a Rastafarian spiritual. By the rivers of Babylon. Excuse me, I can't sing too well, but my point is, I stay listening to this song. So it's so funny that this actually came out through edification. So, but let me show you something to answer this question. Watch. Psalms 137 and 7, it says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. See? In the day of Jerusalem. So it's not just remember Edom because of chattel slavery. You know, don't just remember Edom for bringing us over in slave ships. It's what Edom has done since the conception of this feud, you know, which was already foretold in the garden. All right, with the curse. The serpent seed will be enmity with Eve's seed, and the serpent just means a magician, a wicked nigga, and that's Esau. That's Esau right there. He came back reincarnated. The serpent came back reincarnated as Cain, and then he came back fully into his reincarnation as Edom. Okay, so he's got to answer for what he did in the garden too. Shit, you know, if you will, because he's a witch, he's a warlock. You know, it says so. Really, Eve, you should be mad at Edom. You should be mad at the serpent. Don't be mad at the Jake man. You know what I'm saying when I say that, brothers. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. What day? When the Babylonians besieged us. Look, it said, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So even all the way back then, our nation has been lamenting for judgment to befall Edom far before just chattel slavery. You got to get deeper. You gotta get deeper with this hatred, brother. You got to get deeper with your knowledge of what he needs to be judged for. You got to get deeper in the knowledge of what Edom's going to be judged for. It ain't just slavery, but I'm not disannulling slavery, but we go into the scriptures and we could go back empires. We can go back to the conception. What about what Cain did to Abel? What about Esau claiming to attempting to slay his brother Jacob? See? It says, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And guess what? Look, why is Edom and Babylon in the same sentence? Because Edom is ruling over Babylon. This is why there's a prophecy pertaining to the least of the flock in Edom. There's a prophecy pertaining to the least of the flock in Babylon, because Edom is over Babylon. And don't it say, reward Babylon as she has done unto thee? So Babylon, with Edom's rulership, they have a lot to pay for. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, not just for slavery. See, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Now, what's heavy is pertaining to Jacob's trouble leading into Edomite's trouble. When you actually look at it, let me go here for you. When you actually look at it, let's go to Isaiah 13, when the third woe pertaining, when Babylon is partaking in the third woe, do you know that Russia will be used to dash Esau's little ones to pieces even before the elect of Israel get to do it? So this is judgment, man. This proves that Jacob's trouble leads into the world's trouble. Jacob's trouble leads into Edom trouble. Jacob's trouble leads into heathen's trouble. But Esau is the top of the list. He will not get away scot-free. Look, his ass will be being chased. Okay, look, he'll be being chased in the midst of Jacob's trouble. Isaiah 13:14, it shall be as a hunted gazelle, and as a sheep that no man takes up. Every man will turn to his own people, and everyone will flee to his own land. So Esau is not going to be walking around whistling with his hands in his pockets as Babylon is receiving plagues as before, pertaining to being the spiritual Egypt. Okay, look, their bows. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Let me keep going. Excuse me. Where am I at here? Okay. It says, Isaiah 13:15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So you're not going to be able to merge your way in, link your way in, marry your way in. You're going to be judged. Okay, let's actually look this up in a translation. I'm just curious. It says, anyone who is captured will be cut down, run through with a sword. Whoever is captured will be thrust through, and all who are caught will fall by the sword. Whoever is found will be thrust through. Yeah, it makes me think of interracial relationships, Eve and Edom, and whoever is caught will fall by the sword. So I just wanted that quick point. Let me keep going. And it says, look here, look right here. Okay. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. So they're going to suffer the loss of children while being in rulership of Babylon before they get destroyed from the thermonuclear missiles in the Third World War. And then they're going to wake up in slavery to receive the recompense or payback for what they did of putting us in slavery. But the point that we're making here is, hey, it ain't just slavery why he's going to be judged. He's going to be being judged way before his ass wakes up in our kingdom. He's being judged right now on a small scale, but that scale is increasing by the weight of prophecy. Okay, but even right here, this precept came to mind thinking about it. All right, it says their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. That sounds like the curses. So what we're also reading is, as the end days grow closer to the end of an age, we're also seeing the curses creep upon Edom as well. Because don't it say that our wives will be with another? You know, we won't have might in our hands. You know, pretty much to save our children. You shall build, but another shall live in. You know, you shall bring in much, but have holes in your back. So when you even look at the judgment that's going to befall Edomites in Babylon through the next world's war, scarcity, famine, lack of bread, things of that nature, they're going to be catching all types of different pieces of hell. Okay. Now, I made that point about Egypt. So what I want to do is let me read this real quick for you. This is 2nd Ezra 15:10. So we're linking this with America or Babylon because it's also synonymous with Egypt. Okay. So it says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Plagues due to the literal land of Egypt. It broke down their economy. It broke down their society. So you're witnessing Esau get slapped around right now with these tariffs, with these the Bible also speaks about grinding shall cease. Okay, so there's a lot of things. Even though Esau is having a hand in it, this is still judgment upon him. It's just only going to increase. Hence why it tells you in Job 20 that he will be in straits. Then the hand of the wicked or the laborer Al-Mal will be upon him. So this guy is getting a lot of blows being thrown to him. All right, this is a boxing match. You got a lot of things happening right now before the knockout. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on. It says, and I will destroy all the land thereof. See? So his land's going to be destroyed, i.e. Babylon's going to be destroyed. But even before that, so he's going to go through all this culmination of judgment, and then he's going to wake up in our kingdom. And then that will begin him going into slavery. He that leadeth into captivity. Let me read it again. Revelation 13:10. So this won't even take place till our kingdom is established. But look at the judgments that he's going to go through even before we get there. Revelation 13:10, he that leadeth into captivity, it was prophesied, but he did so, shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So now our job, understanding and knowing this, our job is to be patient and have faith while we wait for the judgment to begin. And we get to see it now. We get to see it right now in real time. Now, the severity of the judgment is going to increase, but we still are seeing the judgments playing out. Now, yep, I finished that for you. Oh, right here. This is Nahum 1:3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, pertaining to us as a nation of people, okay? And will not at all acquit the wicked. Now, isn't Esau, Edom considered wicked? Let's just put Edom. I can go to Malachi. I'm just curious. Let's put Edom and let's just put wicked. Let's see what pops up. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so that didn't pop up. I wonder why. Let's put Esau and wicked. This blue letter search bar be acting bougie. Like, come on, man. Let me see. Okay, you want to play like that? Let me get it for you. So when you go to the book of Malachi, the first chapter, it already explains, all right? This is Malachi, and I put Esau. Brothers, I put Esau and I put wicked. It should have popped. Oh, wickedness. Okay, so you got to put wickedness, all right? So this is Malachi 1:4. Do we want to start at 4? Let's just start at 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? So this is the love. So to answer this question, okay, where's Esau's trouble? We're explaining it, and you're seeing it. All right, Gandalf, if you haven't turned on your news, if you haven't been watching the trade war that's going on, you would know he's already in trouble right now. We can all collectively agree that Esau, Edom, in the general public of these people, they're in trouble. They're financing groceries. That's trouble. They thought victual was so good, they'd be in a good case, but then scourges and amendments are still being sent out. He don't even got his women. We're in the time of days a lot. Everybody's a Mo. Okay. The Edomite, the standard American Edomite has been canceled. He's trying to bring himself back. This guy's being judged, man. Okay. The DEI, he's being judged. Where's Esau's trouble? We're looking at it. We're actually in the time of Esau in a position of difficulty, but he still has the ability of rulership because he's being used to institute certain major prophecies like the MOTB and also like the third woe. Oh, he's also going to have to go through the evil eye towards his brother. He's the red horse. He's also going to have to deal with the civil war. That's Isaiah 19. He's got a lot he's dealing with, and it's only increasing. It says Esau gets away with 400 years of slavery. No, but we even went further. We didn't just go into the aspect of slavery. We're getting it all, we getting it all. So we're breaking it down right now. I said Esau's trouble will be in Jacob's trouble. I can do a lesson on it if you are not aware of that. So maybe this individual is not aware of that. Look, Esau world's end, ours beginning. He's at the end of his world, they're losing in Christianity. They're losing in, they're losing in masculinity. They're losing in the family unit. They're losing in the careers. Esau is losing, man. Okay. All the things that he has prided himself and boasted in, all it takes is one Jake Mail to walk in that building and that shit just gets crumbled. He still has a position of power and rulership, but he got spiritual bubble guts, man. He ain't doing good. He ain't doing good. Let me go back. Nahum 1:3. The Lord is slow to anger for us as Israelites and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. See? And he's the wicked. Esau's the wicked. Let me finish this. Malachi 1:2. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Esau just going to get away. I'm not mocking you. Okay. If it was a sincere question, I'm not mocking you. I'm just making the statement. Like, man, we're God. Man, you don't love us, man. What kind of God would do that, man? But look, the same God who you question why he did it to you, you should be asking, well, why is this same God doing this to America? Because the judgment's upon him. That's why Yahushua said it's at the door, man. Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob. We're loved. And hated Esau. Look at that. So he's been hated even before he put us in slavery. And laid his mountains and his heritage waste. Remember when he put a seal upon him? He was braided by the bush. Wearing clothes till they disintegrated. That's judgment. Eating his Tupperware was dead relatives' bones. Come on, that's judgment. All right. And it says, for the dragons of the wilderness, whereas Edom saith, this is a thought process, we are impoverished. We need help. Just like the first welfare family were Edomites, and I believe the Appalachian Mountains. Let me look that up real quick because I'm just curious. Poor whites, Appalachia. Let's put this in. And let's put mountain white. And then let's put welfare. Welfare. Okay. Americans hidden poverty, the plight of Appalachia. Yeah. I believe one of the presidents, there was a president when he was doing a campaign, that one of his biggest thing was to give resources to these poor, impoverished Edomites. They're in the same spirit like the 13th tribe, you know. They're in that same spirit. So don't think for a second that Esau's just chilling. He's just a master affronter. But now in these days that we're in, the level of the heat that is upon the plate of Edom is increasing. It says, he will not at all acquit the wicked. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back to Malachi. It says, wherein Edom saith, we are impoverished, just like now, build back better, okay, make America great. So why would they need to make it great if it ain't been touched? But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. That's judgment. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. Oh, you got the border czar. He was just here in Rochester. The border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever. So he ain't getting away scot-free. Okay. But to go back to the point that you asked, specifically pertaining to him and the judgment that he was allowed to do to us, well, the Lord sums it up right here through the prophet Obadiah. Edom will be humbled. He ain't riding off in the sunset. Edom will be humbled. In the last days, his allies are going to turn on him. His beloved baby beast, NATO's going to turn on him. Russia's going against him. Russia's the guard under Moab. The tariff wars, effing the average overweight Edomite up. This thing is going down, man. This is judgment upon this dude. This is judgment upon his empire. Now, Obadiah 1, my phone just died. Obadiah 1 and 10, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Oh, shameful spewing upon thy glory. He's being judged right now. We're just waiting for the greater prophetic judgment to take place. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Okay, he's going to be cut off forever. Not just because what he did to us in the transatlantic slave trade here in America, but what he has done to us as a nation of people. Remember, Amalek was the one that waged war with us. What is that? Numbers 24. And when we get in our kingdom, there ain't going to be no peace. Let's get to it, and we're going to wrap it up. Let's go to Deuteronomy 24. I believe this is a law. Let me go down here. Oh, what's that? Look at that. Look at that. Let me see right here. Okay, just give me a second. I know it's right in here. So let's get, let's see. Let's put, remember, and Mikulski, who calls himself Yahoo, his real name is Mikulski. I can't remember. He said this, remember Amalek. Amalek, all right? Remember Amalek. Let's get that real quick. Boom. Okay, see? Look. See, Deuteronomy 25 and 17, excuse me. Okay, so now it's Deuteronomy 25 and 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee. Wait, but see that? This is way before slavery. This is way before this spiritual Egypt. This was in the literal leaving of Egypt. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind him. See, he got an answer for what he did to our babies and our family and relatives way back then. This guy's got a tab that he's been needed the answer for. When thou was faint and weary, and he feared not Yahweh. So check this out. Look, this one we're in the kingdom. After Edom serves his hardcore punishment, you can link this with Obadiah 1 and 18. Deuteronomy 25 and 19. Therefore it shall be when the Lord thy power has given thee rest from all thy enemies round about in the kingdom, and the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. And not just Amalek, not just the grandson, but the whole nation. Let's go back to Obadiah, the whole nation. Okay. So hopefully this answers your question. So going down, so the end of the judgment after Esau served, after Esau is starved, he's resorting to cannibalism. He loses in the next world war. He's destroyed, bombed to hell and back. The global elites are bound into slavery with chains, buying their kings and their nobles. After all that, after the 1,000 years of hardcore physical bondage of slavery, after all of that, then his ass is going to burn. So ain't no way Esau Edom's getting away scot-free. Obadiah 1:18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Remember, Israel and Judah oppressed together, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh Bashemel Shai has spoken it. So see, and we're going to take their land. So see, so to answer the question, no, Edom will not get away scot-free. He's not gonna he will answer for everything he has done. He's gonna answer for everything he has done. Okay, so I just wanted to do that real quick lesson. I truly pray that it was edifying, because some of our people don't know that Esau is going to be judged. Yes, his ass is going to be judged to hell and back, as they would say. So I'm going to leave it there. I pray that this lesson was edifying, and I just want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. With that being said, Shalom.